Go here with you as we're actually going to go down before we get started with the Chicago Cougars Blaine Energy game. We are going to go down to Eric Willowite. He's got an interview with us down at ice level.
All right, thank you very much, Chris Labosco, and I am down here with two very special persons who are involved with Cougars hockey. I have Nick and Vince. Is that right? Nick and Vince, and I'm sorry, your last name again?
Zayline.
Zayline. Nick and Vince Zayline. So Nick and Vince Zayline have been with the team pretty much the whole year, helping out from an equipment standpoint. And Nick, why don't you tell me a little bit about what your responsibilities are with the Cougars?
We're supposed to do water bottles, set up pucks, make sure if anyone needs something, we always help them.
Very good. And Vince, how has that gone this year? How do you feel about the work that you've been doing with the Cougars?
I feel like it's been pretty good. I like how we've been seeing what's behind the scenes and everything. And I like how the players been very nice to us.
Okay. Now, from what I understand, you guys are both hockey players yourselves, right? As we wait for the Zamboni to pass by us here. So, do you guys both play on the same team?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what position do you play, Nick?
I play center.
All right. And you, Vince?
I play defense.
Okay. Have you guys been able to pick up some tips from watching the Cougars play this year? What have you picked up?
I've picked up that you always have to move your feet and keep your head up.
Very good. And what about you, Vince?
I picked up that you should never bend over while you're skating because they're going to burn right past you all the time.
Very good. So what happens then between periods? So when you guys aren't here on the ice helping out during the periods, what are you guys doing between periods?
If they ever need something, like the people that are healthy scratched, we help them. If not, we just watch and learn from what they're doing.
Okay. And Vince, what about you? What are you busy doing? Same things?
Yeah, we mostly do the same thing, but during intermissions, we sometimes fill the water bottles up.
Very good, very good. Well, you guys get a chance. You're on TV here. This is getting recorded, live stream as well. Is there anything you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out to?
No.
No?
Go Chargers.
Go Chargers. That's the team you guys both play on. And what league is that in? What team?
Pee-wee AA.
In what town?
Rolling Meadows.
The Rolling Meadows Chargers?
And
Okay.
this is our home rink too.
This is your home rink too. All right, well, I don't want to keep you guys away from your duties anymore, but the Cougars really appreciate the work that you guys have been doing for them all year. And Nick and Vince, good luck the rest of the season. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Chris, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. We will take a short timeout, and then we'll have the pregame here for you between the Chicago Cougars and the Blaine Energy. Don't go anywhere.
The Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com. I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today.
Quiero tener un trabajo en algo que me encante. Quiero divertirme y a la vez conocer muchas personas. El Illinois Media School tiene muchas cosas increíbles que ofrecer, no solo para mí, sino para todos sus estudiantes. Y con todas las cosas que aprendes, no hay manera de no ser exitoso. Aprenderás no solo a hacer segmentos de audio al aire y usar el equipo de cámara, incluso puedes tener tu propio show de radio o televisión. Y los instructores trabajan en la industria. Así que visita beonair.com y empieza tu carrera en broadcasting ya.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com. I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today.
Projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting.
Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to this evening's broadcast of Chicago Cougars hockey. Coming to you live from the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates. Tonight's game will feature the Chicago Cougars taking on the Blaine Energy. Blaine Energy coming out of Blaine, Minnesota, just about 18 miles north of Minneapolis. And with me on tonight's broadcast is Chris Labasco. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
So tonight's game, obviously, it's a contest of contrast. These two teams are so far apart in the standings, but they have to play the game on the ice. From the Cougars' standpoint, they're coming in with a 36-6-1 record, 69 points. Blaine Energy coming in with a record of 8-31-2, only with 18 points. So when you talk about a game on paper, this should be a mismatch, but they have to play the game.
Right, and these two teams have only met each other twice throughout the year. That was back on October 10th and 11th, a long time ago. So there's a lot of time in between. This is probably a much different Blaine Energy team than what the Cougars saw back then. The starters right now for the Energy being announced as we're talking, so you can't really just stay on your heels, especially for the Cougars. They still want to hold on to that first place spot. They control their own destiny. They have to win out, and if they do win out, they have first place, no problem. You have a very hot team in the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings that you still have to see one more time, so maintaining a good record and staying in front of them, even if you lose that game, you can still keep and hold on to your first place spot.
And you brought up the fact that the Blaine Energy might be a completely different team from when the Cougars first faced them. The Energy, at one point, had a 24-game losing streak. Now they're 6-6 in their last 12, so they're playing a little bit different, a little more up-tempo. However, again, they're still only 18 points. From the Cougars' standpoint, they've won 19 of their last 23, but they're only 2-2 in their last 4. So obviously for the Cougars, they have an opportunity to step up here as well.
Yes, they definitely do. Take a step aside really fast as the starters are about to be announced for the Cougars.
Starting at defense, number 2, Hunter Shifley. Also starting at defense, number 3, Matt Wolf. Starting at left wing forward, number 11, Matt Lekmansky. Starting at right wing forward, number 23, Yexer Lundberg. Our starting center forward, number 25, Sam Zatera. And our starting goaltender, the man that's with the pipes, number 35, Aaron Zaveski. Your Chicago Cougars are coached by Grant Stover and assisted by Justin Mason, equipment manager and our athletic trainer, Aaron Hahn. These are your Chicago Cougars. As I mentioned a couple times today, we have 2 very special groups today. Boy Scout Troop number 10 and Cub Scout Pack 1855. Please direct your attention to the Zamboni doors as they present tonight's colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you are able and remove all hats. Now, we honor America and the men and women serving our country at home and overseas with the playing of our national anthem.
And our thanks to Boy Scout Troop 78 out of Elgin for bringing the colors for today's national anthem. So very quickly, we're going to go over the starters for the Blaine Energy. At defense, Zach Berglund, Aaron Holcomb. Forward, Sean Malik, Parker Caskey, and Jamison Bach. And in net for the Blaine Energy is Blair Sanders. From the Cougars, starters on defense, Hunter Schiffman, Matt Olson. Forwards, Matt Lemansky, Jesper Lundberg, Samuel Zatera. And in goal for the Cougars tonight is Aaron Zaveski. And let's go into our 3 keys to the game real quick.
Yeah, the first key, fast start for the Cougars. They want to have that here. Step up for Anthony Zavane is our other key too. Obviously, you want that fast start just to keep things going, and you want to do things well because Zavane not here. He's gone up to the next level, up to the NAHL, and roll all the lines. This is a team that's at the lower level, the bottom of your standings, try and get as many opportunities to get guys out there as possible and keep things rolling.
All right, we are underway here in the Sears Center. Puck behind the Blaine Energy net. And hockey is underway here in Hoffman Estates. Puck dumped into the Cougar zone. Chasing after it is Schiffman, knocked down. Olsen picks up the puck, passes it over, and we have a man down for the Cougars. Looks like Schiffman.
Yeah, it was Hunter. He went down hard in that right wing corner. His leg kind of got up into the air, too, as he was going into the boards. He's a little bit slow to get up. I think he's just a little shaken up. He doesn't need any help, just slow getting up and off the ice. So that's a good thing to see, at least, that he's getting up under his own power. That was a bit of a hard hit, and I don't know if his head hit the ice. It was a little bit tough to tell to see how because it was really weird how he ended up coming off into the boards. A little bit slow getting off. I think maybe it was his leg, though.
All right, playback underway here in the Sears Center. Cougars take possession. Carrying it up is Raybeck. Raybeck coming into the Blaze Energy zone, fires on net, save. And puck behind the net. Raybeck centered, no one home. Picked up by Blaine Energy. Blaine Energy center ice. Dumped the puck into the Cougar zone. Stopped by Zaveski. And he shovels it ahead. Up to the Blaine Energy, picking up in their defensive zone. Almost a giveaway there, but the Energy pick it up.
Jonathan Dagnall playing and replacing Zvane on that top line right now with Rayback and Gavin Nickerson.
Rayback just carried the puck in the left wing zone. Shot on net, and it's on the side of the net. Almost looked like it went in there.
Well, it first went off of the goalkeeper for the Blaine Energy in Blair Sanders. He was able to get his shoulder over there to stop the opportunity by Gavin Nickerson. It's a good breakout pass here to Cody Rayback. You see him draw attention, and he feeds it nicely into that slot for Nickerson for an opportunity. Just not enough net for Nickerson to shoot at, though, is the problem.
Get the puck on net early, though. All right, puck dumped in by the Cougars. Walking in, dumping it in. Puck behind the net for the Energy. Alongside far boards is Doucette. And the Cougars score! Michael Butera with the goal. Quick turnaround there. The Energy were not able to clear the puck out of the zone.
Well, it was a huge turnover that was caused by the Cougars. It looks like you see the puck bouncing and it gets right to Butera as he's just in the high slot, sends a wrister on the stick side and gets it past the goalkeeper in Blair Sanders. Nothing he could really do. So not the best exit from the zone for the Energy. If they want to try and stay in this game with the Cougars, they can't have turnovers like that, because you'll see that's exactly what will happen is the Cougars, they will really take advantage of the opportunity.
And one of the things we talked about was the fast start for the Cougars. That's exactly what's happened here, Chris. 1-0 start here for the Cougars in the early going. All right, Blaine Energy bringing the puck out of the zone, over their blue line, dumped it into the Cougar zone. On net, Zaveski steers it aside, picked up over to the far corner, picked up by Sullivan. Sullivan shooting the puck into the Blaine Energy zone. We're going to have an icing call on the Cougars, and the faceoff will go back into the Cougar zone.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a try and a stretch pass there and just not able to get into the player for the Cougars. We'll look one more time at the goal here, scored by Butera. You see the bouncing puck comes right to him. He turns around, has nobody on him in the slot, and that's just an easy area to try and score from. You have the entire net to shoot at.
Face-off won by the Cougars. However, the Energy were able to get off a shot, deflected out of play, and we'll have another face-off here in the Cougars zone.
Sean Malik was the one who ended up tipping that puck up into the netting, and then it deflected off of a Cougars player in front. But that's a prime opportunity from the Energy to try and bounce back. Cougars have to be more careful on their face-off.
Face-off to the right of Zaveski, won by the Cougars. And the Cougars looking to exit the zone, having a little trouble. Now they carry it over to center ice. Pucked up in. Almost a giveaway there. Holcomb tried to clear. Into the near corner, picking up the puck for the Cougars. At the point, Olsen fires a shot on net wide. Going after it for the Cougars is Peters. Peters throws it behind the net. And along the near boards, cleared out of play. Picked up by Holcomb. Holcomb for the Energy. Stretch pass over to Bach, and Bach is going off for a line change. Olsen picking up the puck behind the Cougars' net. Lost it for a moment there, but the Cougars were able to recover Peters. Peters far side, dumping it off to Olsen. Back over to Peters. Peters in the Cougar zone. Exit out. Puck taken away by the Blaine Energy. Carrying it in is Jason Roski. Dump it behind the net. Hunter Shipman will pick it up.
Good to see him back out on the ice after that hit earlier.
And a slight giveaway there. Zaveski was able to cover up, and now we have some activity right in front of the Cougars' net.
That's a little bit unusual for Olsen. Olsen's not really a guy to kind of go in. Something must have been said there for Olsen to get that mad. I mean, nobody's getting a penalty here. Both guys, I think, are just going to get sent back to their benches. But still, we
might have a penalty, actually.
Yeah, you're right. I think maybe on the Energy here, we'll find out what the call ends up being.
Jason Roski going into the box for the Blaine Energy. That's the only penalty we see so far.
Yeah, Olsen just went back to the bench, so he didn't get called for anything there.
Yeah, so it looks like, at least from the replay, it looks like he grabbed Olsen's head. So we're going to have a power play for the Cougars. Face-off won by the Cougars. Cougars own. Palermo with the puck. Far point shot wide of the net. Blaine Energy picks it up. Looking to clear. Not out. And it's a roughing call on Roski with the Cougars power play. Energy still trying to clear. Palermo keeps it into the zone. Behind the net is Hokum for the Energy. He gets rubbed off on the play. Far side picked up by Laukkanen. Behind the net, Peters. And going for it for the Cougars is near corner. Off to the point is Palermo. Far point, Laukkanen. Shot a little wide of the net. Picked up by Peters. Peters circling around the face-off circle. Now he's at center in the slot. Near face-off circle. Fires off a shot that was deflected wide, not on net. Puck picked up by Henry Laukkanen. And the puck over to Peters behind the net. Looking to center, unable to find someone, and the Blaine Energy are able to clear. Zaveski picks up the puck with 56 seconds left on the Cougars power play.
You had so much time in the zone. I wish Gavin Nickerson would have waited a little bit longer before deciding to make that pass into the middle. There's some options on the outside, and there was a lot of lanes that they just didn't take as many opportunities as they had.
Nickerson skating in, round one, two defenders, loses the puck temporarily. And Raybeck was able to pick it up, get back into Cougars possession. Shot on net, save! And puck picked back up by the Cougars. That's Lundberg. Lundberg to the point. Olsen. Shot, score! I don't know if that was deflected, Chris.
Well, it's either Olsen's goal or he gets the assist, and Lundberg gets a goal if it's his tip. We'll get a look at it here in a moment. But a power play goal for the Cougars. They looked really good on that power play, too. A lot of opportunities. They moved the puck well and finally ended up cashing in. You see the work here in the right wing corner. Lundberg passing it back up, and then he's immediately going to go into the slot, get some net front presence, and I think maybe he got a tip of it. A little bit tough to tell on that replay in full speed. But still, his positioning, he's at least creating some sort of screen in front, even though he's not directly in front of the goalkeeper.
So the official scoring is giving it to Olsen, so Olsen gets credit for the goal. Lundberg with the assist.
Right, he still gets an assist because he made the pass up to Olsen.
Yeah, absolutely. Play resumes now in the Blaine Energy zone. Behind the net, centered. Quick save there. Quick shot from Beltrame, and a nice save there by Blair Sanders.
That was a beautiful feed from Mike Sullivan. You're going to watch him come around the net here. He's got his eyes up the entire time, finds Beltrame coming in from his defensive spot. Beltrame just didn't get enough of the puck, unfortunately. Looked like it maybe went off his heel, and that's why he didn't get good wood on it. So it stays only 2-0.
Face-off near corner in the Energy zone. Picked up by the Cougars. Behind the net, centering pass taken away by Bach of the Energy. Skating it into the Cougar zone, far side. Tries to center it. Puck was knocked away by the Cougars. Shot wide of Zaveski. And the Cougars looking to clear the zone, and they do. Puck knocked into the Energy zone. Going after it for the Cougars is Andrew Van Dyke, but it looks like we have an icing call?
Yes. Yeah, that one was definitely an icing. There was nobody on the right side of the line to touch the puck for the Cougars. Van Dyke was trying to race up. There's too many Blaine Energy players in front of him, as you can see. Not able to get in front and beat Berglund to the puck.
So our face-off will be to Zaveski's left. Cougars win the draw, and Van Dyke has possession. Near corner, Shoots it along the glass, and going after it for the Cougars is Sullivan. Feeds it off to Butera, and the Energy pick up the pass. Long stretch pass out, almost made there by the Cougars. And picked up by Lonberg. Dump back behind the Cougars net, Zaveski. Zaveski's going to leave it there for defenseman. Skating it up for the Cougars right now is Lokkonen. Dumped back in by the Energy. And going after it for the Cougars is Hulk.
The Blaine Energy have not had a whole lot of possession time on this puck. The Cougars have been swarming to the puck and just really keeping the possession time.
Yeah, the only thing they've really had has been some turnover opportunities, but those have been few and far between from the Cougars.
And one on a face-off as well.
All right, carrying it into the Energy zone. Round shot wide of the net. Nice shot there by Sam Zatera. Puck along the far side, going after it for the Energy. Bach outside the zone. Cougars gain possession. Starting pass brought in. Zatera has it. Looking to center, gets it back to the point. That's Palermo. Palermo shot saved, stick side by Sanders. Near corner, back to the point, Palermo. Palermo along the boards, feeding it over to Zatera. Zatera over to the other point, and the shot was muffed. Didn't get a lot of good wood on that shot there. Puck picked up by the Energy, and we have a stoppage of play. Looks like a knockdown, puck knocked down with a high stick.
I think it might be a high-sticking penalty even. It looked like maybe he was motioning for somebody to go to the box. Guess not. I guess it's just a face-off in the zone.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought he was pointing to the box, but we'll watch here when that puck ends up getting hit out of the air eventually. I think it's right there. You'll see it just happen off screen.
Face-off won by the Cougars. Olsen flips it into the far corner. Going in after it. Trying to keep it into the near corner is Schiffman. He was unable to, but he's able to dump it back into the zone. Energy take over the puck. Pass stolen. Brought back into the Energy zone by Peters. Peters rings it around to the Cougars for Kropp. Kropp centers it over. And the puck picked off by the Energy, dumped out of the zone. Schiffman has control. Over to Olsen at center ice. He's going to dump it in on net. Sanders steers that aside to the near corner. Picked up by the Energy. That's Thomas Indergaard. And now dumping it out of the zone. There'll be no icing call as Schiffman's going to pick up the puck. Long stretch pass, trying to feed it over to Corey Schwartz, unable to make a connection, and the Energy will pick up the puck. Pass outside the zone. Puck picked up by the Cougars. And we're just playing a little blue line to blue line action right now. Roski.
That was Corey Schwartz was who that pass was intended for. He was going off to finish the change. Defensemen just have to be a little bit more aware for the Cougars. That could have turned into an opportunity.
Rayback carrying it into the zone. Far face-off circle. He's behind the net now, looking to center it. Kept into the zone nicely was Beltrame. Puck at the point. Walking steered aside. Rayback trying to carry the puck behind the net. He's rubbed off, and the Energy take possession, skating it out of their zone, making a nice move around 2-3 defensemen. Still maintaining the puck, and it's finally taken away. That was some nice stick handling there by Nate Kuda of the Energy. Now the Cougars back into the Blaine Energy zone. Puck out front, scramble for it, knocked away by the Energy, picked back up by the Cougars, trying to center, taken away, stolen, and coming into the Cougar zone. That's Sean Malik. Malik dumps it into the corner. Back to the point for the Cougars. Cougars carrying it out now. And Nickerson trying to get a shot off the boards. It caroms onto net where Sanders freezes the puck, and we'll have a stoppage in play.
Blair Sanders just trying to slow things down for his team because the Cougars have dictated pace throughout so far. We're only halfway through the first period, but still they've already got 2 goals. You see that shot there that was towards the end. That's just Gavin Nickerson dumping it down to try and at least allow his team to change because they've been rolling their lines, which is something we said in the keys to the game we wanted to see from the Cougars.
Puck dumped into the Cougars zone. And we have 3-4 players coming out of it. Van Dyke comes out with it for the Cougars. Steers it ahead to Butera. Butera passing it over. Butera drops it back off. Cougars coming in, and the puck is taken away. And we might have a penalty here. We have a man down.
Mike Sullivan down in the corner. He was the one who got taken out there. I don't know if this is going to be a boarding call or what. It's something on that hit that put Sullivan into the boards. That was a beautiful play from that line, though. You're seeing some magic from this line here. You see the Butera pass behind. I think that's Sullivan who almost got it over, just couldn't quite get it around the goalkeeper in Sanders, but Butera and Sullivan working really well together. That's something good to see from the Cougars, that those other lines are starting to gel, because the biggest thing we saw once with Zavain when he was here was sometimes the Cougars would have a tendency to watch and not really take advantage of the opportunities that the other lines would have.
2 minutes for hooking.
So Eric Engdahl in the box for the Blaine Energy. The call is hooking, and the Cougars are on the power play here. Zaveski keeping the puck behind the net, hands it over to Schiffman. Schiffman skating it up the ice, pass it over to Letmansky. Letmansky carrying the puck over the energy zone, near boards, near half boards, out to the point. Olsen, back to Schiffman. Switching it over to Letmansky. Fires a shot on net and save, and no rebound opportunity from Sanders. That was a nice shot there. There was net front presence, but no rebound given up by Sanders.
Yeah, you had net front presence, but it wasn't in the right spot. It was Zatera who was out in front. His positioning was just a little bit off, as you see here. Not quite able to get in position to make a difference on that one.
Face off to Sanders' right. Cougars win the draw. Back to Olsen. Olsen fires the puck behind the net. Far board Cougars. Olsen at the far point. Schiffman near point. Gets it over the Olsen at the top. The deflection and a score!
I think that's Dagnall's goal, too. He was out in front, and I think he put that one in between the 5-hole of the goalkeeper and Sanders. But a beautiful play and movement from the Cougars on this power play.
And Olsen didn't get a lot out of it, but that might not have been the point. Just enough to steer it into the net.
You'll see on the replay here the big thing, and this is a big goal too for Jonathan Dagnall. This is his second weekend being back in the lineup for the Cougars. He's a guy you want to start seeing take in and really kind of, you're not going to fill the role of Anthony Zvain, and that's definitely Dagnall's goal. But you need him to get back to a point where he was playing before, where he is a top 6 forward for this team. So it's kind of a shot in the arm for the Cougars that he's back, and he's starting to play a little bit better now, his second weekend in the lineup with the second week of practice.
Oh, and we have a quick goal here by the Blaine Energy and a response. Jason Roski with the goal, and that cuts the lead now to 3-1.
And just as I'm saying that, that's when you have that happen. Of course, the Cougars let up a goal. They've been playing so well. That looked like maybe it was a turnover. We're going to get a better look at it here in just a second. But you can't give them that quick answer back. Like, you can't let them have that quick answer back if you're the Cougars. As we'll watch here, you'll see he'll go into the slot on that turnover and just quickly sending it by. There's nothing that could be done on the one-timer by the goalkeeper in Aaron Zaveski.
And another quick shot on net by the Energy, saved by Zaveski. So now the Cougars are going to have to regroup a little. 3-1 lead. However, they've had 2 plays in a row where they've given up the puck. And they simply lost a board battle over there, and the puck came out 2-on-1, and the Energy responded. Face off to the far side for Zaveski, picked up by the Cougars behind the net. Stuffed along to Butera near half boards. Shoots it along the boards out to center ice. Energy pick it up there. There's a puck battle at center ice. Knocked into the Energy zone. Carrying it over is Palermo. Palermo centering, shot deflected. I don't think that one got on net. I think it was deflected by an Energy defenseman there.
It was tough to tell because Sullivan was going for the top right corner, and maybe he just lifted it too high.
Puck battle on the far corners there. Picked up by the Cougars. Palermo near half boards. Centers it over to Butera. Butera shot on net, save, and no rebound given up by Sanders. And we'll have another face-off in the Energy zone.
The Cougars' movement of the puck has been really, really impressive here tonight so far, Eric. When you look at this pass to Butera, he was playing the defensive spot after the pinch had happened by Palermo. Palermo started to rotate back up after he saw Butera coming in through the slot. So good communication here by the Cougars as well. This is one of the better games we've seen from them, even though you just had that goal that they'd given up on a turnover.
Face off to the right of Sanders. Zatara on the draw for the Cougars. And coming in to take the draw, Lawnberg. Lawnberg carrying the puck over. Far face-off circle. Shot wide of Sanders. Puck in the far corner, near corner. Picked up by Letmansky. Saved. Deflected there by the Blaine defense. Picked up again by the Cougars. Shot, save. Rebound lying loose there, but picked up by the Energy along the near boards and dumped back in to the Energy zone. They're having some problems clearing the puck here, Chris. Zatara picking up the puck. Passing it to the near corner, looking for Lawnberg. Unable to make a connection. And we have a puck battle along the near boards. And puck knocked out, chasing after it is Lemansky for the Cougars. Far corner, center ice, carrying it in over for the Cougars, looking to get in. Not sure how that's not interference there.
I guess the puck was close enough.
Yeah. Puck picked up by the Cougars, shot blocked by the Blaine Energy. Still having some issues trying to clear the puck out of their zone. The Cougars picking up at the blue line. Near side Beltrame, and the puck knocked outside of the zone and going after it for the Cougars. At their own blue line, feeding it over to Beltrame. Beltrame dumps it in. He's going off for a line change. Picking up the puck is Holcomb. Holcomb circles it around for the Energy, gets it out to center ice, picked back up by Olsen. And we have an offsides call on the Cougars as he was trying to feed Raid back, but the Cougars were offside.
Rayback just brought that puck across the line a little bit too quickly. I think it was Dagnall was coming back on the far side and just was not able to get back in time. Good pass, though, by Olsen. It looked like it would have been a good entry if just waits 1 second longer to take that and stick in a little into the zone.
Matt Olsen carrying the puck in the Cougar zone, feeds it over to Schiffman. Schiffman near side, going after it, looking to make a play. It's Nickerson trying to center to Raybeck, and the puck got loose behind the Energy net. Olsen keeps it in at the point. Near corner, Raybeck. Nickerson trying to feed Schiffman, unable to. Nickerson trying to pick up the puck, keep it in the zone. Schiffman knocks it back at the point. And the Cougars still carrying the puck, maintaining possession, dumping back at the left point. Olsen fires on net, score!
I think you got to give I think we got another tip goal, too, for the Cougars. I think that was Gavin Nickerson in the slot who got his stick on that to send it into the net. You see, right now, I was going to say, too, that this Cougar spacing right here, you don't really like that. It's too many guys in one area. But as soon as they get the puck back, what happens? They space out real well, and the defenders didn't know what to do, and you get that tip. That's a nice tip, too, from Gavin Nickerson. Deflects that one in between his own legs to get that into the goal. There's no way that the goalkeeper's going to see that one before it's too late for the Energy and Sanders.
Chicago Cougars goal scored by number 19, Gavin Nickerson.
So Gavin Nickerson with the goal. Matt Olsen with another assist. And Butera carrying the puck in. Feeding on over. Big save there by Sanders. Knocked down behind the net and getting up a little bit slowly for the Cougars. Now here come the Energy into the Cougar zone. Dumping it into the far corner, going after it is Terra. Swinging it over to Butera. Carrying it over is Van Dyke. Van Dyke over the Energy blue line. Tries to fire a shot on net. Ooh, it was almost mishandled there by Sanders. He's having a rough go of it so far.
Seeing a lot of shots, though. Already 14 shots on goal for him.
Palermo rings it around to the far side. Kept in the point, near point Palermo. Looking to shoot, shot on net, saved by Sanders. Rebound picked up by Peters, fires another rebound attempt. That's saved by Sanders, stick to side. Kept into the Energy zone, though, and the Energy just unable to clear it. Shot on net, save, rebound, Sanders. Another shot attempt over the net. Peters going after it in the far corner, looking to center. And the Cougars are just having their way with it. Puck carried over, falling down and picked up the puck, knocked out of the zone and going after it for the Cougars.
Regardless of whether or not they got a goal there
like
or not, they've looked really good, very good passing. But not just that, they're really getting into the dirty areas and getting opportunities. You got to give a lot of credit, though, to Blair Sanders that this is only 4-1 right now. It could be even more than that.
Carrying it over, Kropp feeding, unable to make a connection with Peters there. Kropp and Peters on a 2-on-1 attempt, unable to finish.
Eddie Olczyk right now is groaning, and he doesn't know why. And the reason I say that is because what do you always hear Eddie Olczyk say about your stick?
Keep your stick on the ice.
Peters has a goal if he does.
Lundberg with a shot over the shoulder of Sanders. Good shot there by Lundberg. And picking up the puck is Holcomb for the Energy. Looking to feed, knock the puck out of the ice. Taken away by the Cougars, carried back into the zone. Zatara fires a shot. Sorry, Letmansky fires a shot and saved by Sanders, and we're going to have a face-off.
Right. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
I'm sorry, they made an announcement on Olsen. I don't know if they changed the goal.
Well, it should have been an assist for Olsen. It should be Gavin Nickerson's
right.
goal from what we saw.
All right, face-off picked up by the Cougars. Knocking it into the Blaine Energy zone. Now we have some play in the neutral zone. Carried over by the Cougars. Fired on net, sticked aside by Sanders. Going it into the corners, Casey for the Energy picked up, and we have another penalty call.
Cross-check.
Cross-checking call on the Energy.
See who it is this time that they have going into the box. But, I mean, for the Energy, this is really just hindering yourself right now because the Cougars have taken advantage of every power play they've gotten so far.
Jordan Adler with the cross-checking call. So he's going to take a seat, and another power play for the Cougars, who are already 2 for 2 on the power play, Chris.
Exactly.
Face off to the right wing side, right side. Dagnall taking the face off, right side of Sanders. Cougars win the draw. Nickerson back to the point, Schiffman near point. Down low to Nickerson. Back up to Schiffman. Schiffman, center ice, blue line. Feeds it over to Dagnall. Shot wide of the net. Going after it and keeping it in the zone is Olsen. Olsen knocks it behind the net. Raybeck and Dagnall going after the puck. And Holcomb trying to knock it away for the Energy. He was successful and unable to keep the puck into the zone. We have a penalty now.
Hook on the Cougars this time. I think it's Gavin Nickerson. He put his palms up in the air like me. So it's usually the sign of that's the one who gets the call.
So Nickerson into the box for hooking.
See if we can see where the hook happens. I don't know if they called what I think they did. That's kind of a yeah, that didn't seem like a whole lot. So I understand the me question mark on when Gavin Nickerson found out he was the one going into the box.
So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey here for a little bit, and then the Energy will have a power play. Cougars coming in, feeding the puck to be shot wide there was Mike Sullivan. Shot on goal, Sanders save, and he's covered up. No rebound this time. And we'll have a face-off in the Energy zone.
The Cougars just keep attacking, though. They have been really, really physical, really fast, using their speed. They know they have the speed advantage. They're taking advantage of what the Energy are giving to them. This is the best we've seen the Cougars in a while, Eric, at least for this first period. They need to keep it over the next 2 periods, though, as part of it.
Face-off to the left of Sanders. Cougars win the draw. Quick shot. Not on net, just over the shoulder of Sanders. Puck along the near boards. Butera circling behind the Energy net. Over the point, Schiffman, far point. Shot on net, steered aside by Sanders. Olsen keeps it in at the left point. Knocked behind the net, Butera. Butera has it for the Cougars. Feeding it over to Olsen. Left point, shot on net, stick aside Sanders.
Extra attacker out there too, Eric.
And we have a delayed penalty on the Energy. Shot, score! Going in with the puck and scoring for the Cougars. So now we have a 5-1 lead with a delayed penalty call.
Yeah, so that'll probably get washed out, but I think you'll keep it at 4-on-4. But the Cougars, again, rolling. We'll watch this replay here of this goal by the Cougars. Just good work in front of the net. You see Sullivan, nice individual effort to get around. He takes the first shot. Rebound comes right to Butera, who flips it in.
So Butera with the goal. 5-1. And let's see. Referees are conferring with the Blaine Energy coach right now. That's Chad Ballard, explaining what happened there on the delayed penalty call. So right now we still have 2 men in the box, Nickerson in the box for the Cougars and Engdahl in the box for the Blaine Energy. So we still have 4 aside here. with just over a minute to play in the first period. All right, referee going back to the scorer's table. Let's see if there's any change with the goal and or the penalties. So it does not look like there's any change at the moment. So 4-on-4 hockey will resume here with just over a minute to play in the first period. Chicago Cougars up 5-1. Michael Butera with the last goal for the Cougars at even strength. Cougars carrying the puck over. Palermo trying to get it out of the zone. Knocked away by the Energy. And we have a scrum coming out with it for the Cougars now is Palermo. Palermo with a 2-on-1 with Van Dyke. Feeds it over to Van Dyke. Unable to make a connection. Palermo picking up the puck behind the net, circling it in the slot. Trying to feed Zatera, unable to. Near point, shot on net, save, stick side by Sanders. Rebound opportunity and another save. Zatera fired the rebound shot. Sanders was able to make the save. And there will be a face-off to the left of Sanders in the Blaine Energy Zone. 5-1 Cougars here with a minute to play in the first period here at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates. On the draw is Dagnall for the Cougars. Cougars win the draw. Letmansky, to point Olsen, back to Letmansky, coming in, fires a shot, save! Off the iron, I believe. The puck got past Sanders and off the post. Rebound into the far corner for the Energy. Keeping the puck into the zone is Olsen. Shovels it behind the Blaine Energy net, picking it up and knocking it out of the zone, but kept in nicely by Schiffman. Schiffman feeding it over to Dagnall. Shot on net, saved by Sanders. Puck coming back to the near point, Olsen. Olsen trying to feed Dagnall, unable to, and the Energy pick up the puck, Roski. Roski knocks it out of the Blaine Energy zone. Puck shoveled into the Cougar zone, where it'll be picked up by Schiffman. Hunter Schiffman carrying the puck up forward ice, feeding it over to Olsen. Puck carried over by Dagnall. Dagnall near boards, looking to come in the center. Puck knocked in, kept in by Schiffman. Nickerson, near side shot, saved by Sanders, loose puck behind the net. Scramble for it. Nickerson fires it off the corner as the buzzer sounds, with the Cougars threatening again, but unable to score towards the end of the period there, and a shorthanded attempt for the Cougars at that. However, a very strong first period for the Chicago Cougars as they come up with 5 goals, and they lead the Blaine Energy here 5-1 after our first period of play here at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates. So one thing that's been evident from this game from the early going is the fact that the speed of the Chicago Cougars has just been too much to handle for Blaine Energy. Most of the play has been in the Blaine Energy zone, and as that's indicative of the score here, 5-1. Shots on goal in that first period, 23 shots for the Cougars to just 4 shots for the Blaine Energy. Total domination here by the Chicago Cougars in the first period. And in just a moment, we're going to swing it on down to Chris Labasco. He's going to have our first period interview. And we'll see who he's able to grab for our first period interview here. So 23 to 4 to shots on goal. All right, so we're going to bring it on down to ice level with Chris Labasco with our first intermission interview.
All right, thanks, Eric, here with Michael Butera. And Mike, 2 goals so far in the game. Going pretty good for you guys. What's been the difference? It seems like a much better start for you guys as a team.
Yeah, the past couple weekends, we've been coming out a little flat, having to catch up a little bit. And, we've just been getting into it this week, had a good week of practice. And, we knew we had to come to play today and tomorrow. It's a big weekend in the standings. Want to try and finish first. So, just came out to play today. Everyone had a lot of high energy. It was a good game so far.
Yeah, definitely. Now talk about your line. You're paired up here with Sullivan and Van Dyke. How's it been working with those guys? These guys seem to be working and gelling real well so far.
Yeah, so far, we haven't played too much together. Sully, he just started playing forward like this week. But, we've been working well together. We're getting a lot of opportunities right now, 2 points plus 2. It's been good so far. I'm excited to see what the second and third have to bring, for us.
All right, Mike, thanks for all the talk, and good luck there in the second period.
Yep, thank you.
All right, back to you, Eric.
Thank you very much, Chris. So Michael Butera with our first intermission interview with Chris Lebowski there. Going into the first period intermission, the Chicago Cougars leading the Blaine Energy 5-1, shots on goal 23-4. And the Cougars' special teams have been a key to their success here in the first period. 2 power play goals and almost a shorthanded goal towards the end of the first period there. The shot by Nickerson, I believe, might have rattled off the post of Sanders there towards right at the buzzer. Otherwise, this could be a 6-1 game. But as it is right now, it's 5-1. And as Butera pointed out, from the Cougars' standpoint, this is an important game. They are looking to maintain first place possession, maintain home ice advantage throughout the playoffs, so that's a very important key to why you want to win your conference. And as it stands right now, they have a 3-point lead over the Dells Ducks here in the latter part of the season. So from that standpoint, not a lot of time left in the season, and you want to build on that lead, and that's exactly what the Cougars are looking to do. With an overmatched opponent, at least so far in the early going, 5-1 Cougars over the Blaine Energy. And I'm going to bring back in Chris Lebowski here from Ice Level. So as Michael Butera pointed out, the importance of this game, regardless of who the opponent is very important because you're trying to seal the deal here in the Western Conference.
Right, you definitely are. You're trying to hold on to the first place spot. They came out with a purpose there in that first period. You could see it throughout. Yeah, there was that one bad turnover, but that was it. It was a good, really good first period. Other than that, Michael Butera, that line that's been put together with Sullivan and Van Dyke, has played really well, too. I've really liked how Sullivan and Butera played together.
And coming in with 2 special team goals, 2 power play goals.
Right.
And I was mentioning towards the end of the period there, I believe Nickerson's shot, I don't know if you had a chance to see it, might have gone off the post there. They might have had a shorthanded goal towards the end right at the buzzer.
Yeah, well, I think they were actually on a power play again. I think is what it ended up being.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right. It was still a power play.
Because there's that little penalty there towards the end that happened. So, yeah, I mean, but still, it doesn't matter what it's on. The fact that they're playing well doesn't matter if they are shorthanded or if they're up or even. The Cougars are just playing with a purpose, which we haven't seen them play with in a while. And, yeah, they're playing against the Blaine Energy. But that's a game when that's when you would think, okay, this is when they're going to maybe take it easy, and they haven't done so you have to really like that from the Cougars, Eric.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily call it a trap game, Chris, but to the point, it could be a game in which mentally you let up. I think after the last couple weekends where you only go 2-2, Coach Stouffer's really getting the message home, hey, we have to step on the gas pedal now.
Exactly, and you can feel it when just talking to Mike about how the week of practice went, everything else. I didn't want to keep him too long, and he answered so much with just 2 questions for me. It was nice. So he really gave us a lot of insight, I thought, into how the Cougars' mindset is right now, and it's in the right spot. So that's good focus from Brad Stouffer. I'm curious for his thoughts when we get to talk to him in the second intermission. You know, the coach's job is to never be satisfied. So I'm sure he'll have plenty of good things to say, but also plenty of things he'd like to see his team improve, especially on that turnover. But when you look at it for Michael Butera, he's having one of the better games. Olsen as well. Sullivan doesn't have a goal yet, but his individual effort has created opportunities. He's got an assist here tonight, at least, on the goal from Butera. And then you see there the first goal by Butera. He started everything off, and he gets that second goal, getting to the dirty areas. He's a guy who really will he is a grinder. He definitely is, but he's a high-skilled player, too. Don't just think because I called him a grinder that this kid can't play. He can play really well.
Well, it's one of those things. When you get him in the right areas in front of the net, that's where that skill shows.
Exactly, and I've really liked the line composition throughout for the Cougars. I thought putting Jonathan Dagnall on that top line with Cody Rayback and Gavin Nickerson was a good move. I've liked the line that you've seen as well that you have for, I think it's Letmansky and Kropp, and really whoever the Cougars have been putting out there has played well. The fourth line, too, with Peters, Schwartz, and you know, of course I'm forgetting names right now, but the point is that all 4 lines are rolling like we said in the beginning for our keys to the game. That was one thing. You can check that off. Fast start, you can check that off. Anthony Zidane would probably be smiling if he was watching the game right now.
Absolutely, Chris. So we're going to take a pause and break action here with the Cougars up 5-1 here at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates. We'll be back with second period hockey in just a moment.
Hey, it's Herb Lawrence. If you love sports and you want a career in broadcasting,